Greetings, beautiful, beautiful people. And welcome to the second video in Scotland. I'm currently quite remote actually. This is 2 miles shy of Rannoch Station, which is just down there. Rannoch Station being the second most remote train station in Britain. And that's where I'll be heading to in the morning, because I've got a train booked just after 11 o'clock, which is going to take me on a 12-minute drive to Corrow Station, which is the most remote station. So what I'm doing at the moment is looking for a camping spot. My car's just down there. You can see this little single track road. That single track road has took me over an hour to drive down. It's absolutely miles long. It's about 30 odd mile from coming off the A9 just after Pitlochry. It's about 38 miles of just single track with passing places. And you know what? It's not very camper van friendly. If you was looking out for the camper van spaces, I was checking out places in case Stu ever wants to come up. But they block loads of potential spots with rocks, you know, that kind of stuff. Obviously people have spoilt it in the past. I'll just spin this camera around. Yeah, there was about 5 decent spots that I seen, but other people has already got there, and there was some classics and all, absolute classic spots with like little sandy beaches and stuff. I'm literally just looking for a base to base myself for tonight, because I'm within striking distance of that train station. I can park at the train station. I'll be leaving my car overnight and getting the train to Corrow tomorrow, and spending the night at a lock up there. So tonight I'm just looking for a base, and I'm thinking round here. I'm actually eyeing a hill up over there, but there's a guy with a dog. But look, it's stunning, honestly. You know, there's still snow on the tops of some of these mountains. Proper beautiful, honestly. So excited about tomorrow. I've always wanted to come down here, down the side of Loch Rannoch, to Rannoch train station, and then Corrow. I mean, there's nothing at Corrow. There's nothing at Rannoch train station, but there's pretty much nothing at Corrow. There's no roads or nothing. At least there's a road that comes down to this one, but Corrow's just out in the middle of nowhere. But it has got a nice tea room apparently, so might bob in there, get some eat if it's open. But let's find a camping spot, see what I can find, like not too far from the car, so I can make that train tomorrow. Excited. Right, my tent is set up for the second night. I didn't end up camping on top of that hill over there where the guy was with the dog, because it's too windy. It's really windy actually, but that's good because it'll keep the midges away. So I parked myself down here for the night, looking over to that. Different accommodation tonight as well. Because of the wind, I've gone for the Van Gogh Banshee 200. So I'm all set up in there now, nice and snug. Beautiful. I'll get in the tent out the wind and just give you an update. It's nice being out with that wind. Do you know what? These Van Gogh Banshee tents, you can't feel the wind once you're in them. When I'm in that little bivvy of mine, because it's just like a net cover and I normally keep it open, if there's a breeze, you can feel a breeze coming through. With these, you can't feel anything, but obviously you can hear it. Been a good day today, really good day. I've enjoyed it. I took a nice steady drive up from Cock and Balls Forest, and when I left Cock and Balls Forest, I'd just come out the wood and I'm crossing the meadow. What was on top of the hill? Quad bike, and I thought, oh God, I hope the farmer's not going to come mithering here. Anyway, it started coming down towards me, so I just ignored it, carried on walking. And then it kind of disappeared behind like a hill. And I thought, oh, well, maybe he's not coming mithering me. Anyway, he intercepted me higher up the track. Young farmer, he was only like mid-20s. And he was just concerned that there was lambs in the field. And I said, don't worry, mate. I said, I walked around the side of the field. I said, you know, I was aware there was lambs in the field. I said, so, you know, I'm cutting through as quick as I can. Anyway, he ended up all right. I ended up having a good chat with him. And he was giving me some news, actually. He told me Cock and Balls Forest is getting cut down in a couple of years. And I said, to be honest, most of it's falling down as it is now. Must because of the wind and stuff. But I think a lot of them is diseased. So they're cutting it down. And I said to him, I said, was that purposely made like that shape? And he said, yeah. He said, the landowner, the actual guy who actually owns all the land, in the 1800s, he put his initials on the hill in trees. I think it was something like LF. He had some like posh name. And anyway, the authorities told him he wasn't allowed to have his initials carved into the hillside and told him to cut it down. So he cut it down, and as a protest, he made a massive cock and balls instead. But obviously didn't say that's what it was. He just said he planted a new thing, and that's where cock and balls would come from. It was out of his rebellion. So what a legend. I'll have to find out more about that guy. So yeah, so then I walked back to my car. Been a lovely drive, really lovely drive up into the start of the Cairngorms and stuff. Went into Pitlock, got some fuel for the car, and then I took the long drive, the really long drive, all the way down the side of these locks, Rannoch, and this other one, which I'm not sure of the name of it. I'm only 2 miles short of Rannoch Station now. You know, my plan was, as I was driving down these locks, to try and get like within 5 miles of the station, because I'm booked on that train first thing in the morning. Well, about 11:10. You know, by the time I've packed all my stuff away and stuff. So yeah, so within 2 miles of the station, I found this spot, and it's absolutely perfect. Little place to park my car. I've come up here, kind of out the way, and I was just setting my tent up. Heard a quad bike. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. Next minute, this bloke comes up, quad bike, and he said, I'm there braced for him moaning about me camping here. And he just said, listen mate, he said, there's some people camping like down at the front there, and they're having a fire. Can you just keep your eye out for us? And if it gets out of control, like, give us a buzz, give the authorities a buzz on your phone if you've got a signal. And I said, yeah, no props, mate. So I ended up talking to him for absolutely ages. He's actually the ranger guy round here. And, you know, it's probably the longest conversation I've ever had with anyone out in the wild. It must have been about 2 hours, might have even been 2.5 hours. He was here when he should have been working, really. But yeah, really nice guy. So I've spoke to the ranger guy around here. I can camp here in peace. He didn't even say to about me camping here, because it's legal, you know what I mean? As long as I'm not having fires and stuff, it's not a problem. Funny thing is, I've not ate anything all day. I had 2 cereal bars for my breakfast, and I've had a couple of bags of crisps out my car, so I'm going to cook something in a minute and then chill out. But yeah, it's been a great day this. I'm going to nip down to the car, because the car's literally only 200 yards away, and I've got 2 pillars in the car, so I'm going to go and bring them up and bring them in here. Get it proper cosy tonight. Right, catch you later. Just show you the view from my tent window, or my tent door. How nice is this? Do you know what? Because the car was only 200 yards away, I've been and got my pillars. Ha! Because I brought pillars and a quilt in my car, just in case I want to sleep in the car one night. So I've got like loads of options for sleeping on this trip. I've got my bivvy, my hoop bivvy, my tarp that I had last night. I've got my Van Gogh Banshee, good old faithful, which is pretty much bulletproof. So I'll be sleeping in this tomorrow night as well, because I'll be quite exposed again tomorrow. And I've got me quilt and my pillows in the car in case I want to keep in the car. So I've just phoned home, and I'm just saying it's mad, because I'm literally 2 miles away from the most remote train station in Britain, and probably about 5 mile away from the most remote train station in Britain. And I've got a full signal on my phone. How mad's that? So I can even watch YouTube tonight and stuff if I want. Aye. Roughing it, roughing it in the wilderness. Oh, hello, homemade Shiraz and Woody. So I think it's time for a bit of homemade wine and a bit of a read. I've still got a couple of hours left before it goes dark, so I might as well take advantage. And I might as well wrap this video up here from inside my tent, keeping out the wind. It's going to get down to about 1 degree tonight, so it's going to be quite chilly. And tomorrow morning I'll be getting up, going down to Rannoch station, and I will get a video of the train picking me up and dropping me off at Corrow, the most remote train station and the highest train station in the UK. An interesting fact, it was actually the train station that featured on Train Spotting when they dropped them off in the middle of nowhere. That was Corrow, so that's where I'll be going tomorrow. So that's all for tomorrow's video. Have a good one, guys.